will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.
All right, everyone, welcome to the 192nd episode of the World Blockchain Roundtable. Welcome. You're muted, William. I think.
Am I?
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway,
can you hear me now?
Yes,
okay.
It's all good. Sorry about
Nice.
it. Today we have William, or I am for I am, or I'm for I'm, the emperor of all social media, starting with Den.Social. We have Sean. I don't know. Is Sean going to be here? Do we know?
Oh, I hope so. I missed Sean on Trip Tuesday this week.
Yeah, if you guys see him down below and I don't hear, make sure you tell me, interrupt me or whatever. Greg from Rivet is here. Zach Kaiser and Andrew Joseph from the Legacy Right. Lisa is not available today to be with us, and we'll see who else might pop in though. I'm Joe, Dragon Chain. So first, a quick look, update on the Layer ownership tokens from last week's episode.
Show me the money.
Yes, the topic was debunk or prove conspiracies with blockchain. It was actually a pretty good show, right? It was.
I really got it. It was good
on it. Each host from last week will receive 95 lot. Every topic contributor 83 lot. Last week's theme was nominated by I Am for I Am, who will receive 83 lot. Ownership tokens come with perpetual passive income, free edits, and governance votes. So you should be a part of that. I actually mentioned on the Super Happy Dragon Lucky earlier this morning, anybody could, volunteer to come on, and we don't really have a vetting process. So we probably need a vetting process.
Oh, yeah.
But either way.
Well, and just a door for people to knock on, just in case they have something to say.
Yeah, it's like, I think I should, or even, hey, I have a friend who would be on, that type of thing, right?
It was not for one of those forums. I wouldn't have been talking to anybody, not you guys. We would have been friends. So
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's awesome. I don't even know what year that was. We need to figure that out, by the way. But we do have, let's see here, a DAO vote. So I'm going to put this up, and I believe this is the one shared. Yes. So this is a pending vote still for February. The top 4. There are only 4 weeks in February, and make sure you pronounce with the R. February. There are 2 R's.
Does anybody know anything about blockchain in China? I have not thought about that topic enough. I should know more what people are actually building.
I knew back in the day when we had people who were trying to play various games, and they were actually living in China. And when I called
some Chinese cypherpunks is what I would need.
And I think it's great that they're there. The problem was that they were trying to scam people, and they
some of them.
No, I'm not talking all of them. I'm talking just one group that, in this story that I'm not going to tell you all of it. That's the last I knew, but I knew it was illegal to do, for example, token sales in China back then. And it was a pretty harsh penalty. Right. So anyway,
and
blockchain in China would be super interesting.
There's an old saying, I can't say it in Mandarin or otherwise, but the Chinese used to say it's dark and the emperor is far away.
Yep.
The capital is far away.
There's some places, some cities in China that are far more free than most places in the world because
because they do what they want anyway, even if the laws are absurdly restrictive.
Yep.
It was described to me in the rural areas of China. It's like 1950s US.
Man, that'd be nice. Blockchain and quantum computing, freestyle blockchain content, modularity in blockchain. That could be interesting
that could be really interesting.
Why don't the most popular blockchain protocols have privacy on their fork maps? It's a good one.
I know, right?
Good.
May 22nd, Bitcoin Pizza Day. So we need to wait to vote. Don't vote on that one yet.
Don't vote on that one.
That one's a gamesmanship, some type, I think.
I wonder who would do that.
Blockchain discussion about the new SEC chair and crypto czar. And what blockchain
Interesting.
coin or token would you give to your Valentine? Oh, somebody who voted on that one. Let's see.
That's a cute
That
one.
is William has voted on that one.
Oh, that's
Why-
gamemanship right there.
Yes. Yeah, because you
Do that one on the 28th, right?
Yeah.
Make sure you give her Xano.
Why is blockchain susceptible to various manipulations from statements of politicians, public figures, and so onwards?
Trump coin.
Why? Changes at the SEC after Trump's first 30 days. Oxon's.
That's got to be February 20th or beyond.
Okay.
After 30 days.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Campaigns accepting crypto donations that are public or private.
Ooh, private
and
money.
Blockchain project life cycles and project reincarnation or rebranding.
Ooh,
Would this
that's a
also
fun one.
include like bribing? Is that what?
I think so.
Accepting crypto donations that are public, private. Yeah, you could call basically every example of paying for somebody's support for any given issue to be a private campaign accepting crypto donations, right? Like, or any kind of donations. It's probably mostly fiat though.
Right. Imagine Zcash or Xano or Monero private donations. People are gonna say, "Hey, what's going on here? Where's this money coming from?"
Any Democrats crying about crypto influencing the campaign need to look at the numbers and realize that they got donated to substantially more. They had more resources at their disposal, almost across the board.
Yeah. Speaking of that, if you like and subscribe, everybody down here, and join the conversation, me and Andrew in 20 years' time will donate to the Trump campaign.
It'll be Byron Trump.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I gave Bitcoin to McAfee in the 2016 campaign.
Cool.
And it's awesome. But I was disappointed that I didn't show up on the FEC site.
Oh, it's because he didn't voluntarily put his donors on the list.
Yeah. Yep. I just wanted to see my name having given Bitcoin to McAfee, and that would have been awesome.
That would have been really cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can still always disclose your address and prove it later anyway. So
yeah, it says it's on live now. Tell us if it's on X or not. It said we're having trouble streaming to X, but it looks like it's live now. Let me see.
Okay, good.
Let me see here. I'm gonna mute it because yeah, it looks like it's.
We're streaming there. Okay.
Up till now, yeah. It probably just had a hiccup at the beginning or something. So
good.
All right. Are we ready to go to questions? Is that what we want to do?
I think so.
All right. Yep. All right. Here we go. Let's see.
There's some good ones, actually.
Screen. All right. You have like a split second. You can either like this or get a question in. So make sure you like and subscribe is more important.
Yep.
Anyway,
absolutely.
I'm joking. Share this video.
And maybe now's time for a quick status update in case anybody's curious. We're in the process of recording some awesome videos for the free Dragon Chain from the bounds of unnecessary and frivolous litigation by the government campaign that we're going to be kicking off here real soon, because it's a fight for a lot more than just this one company. It's a fight for a new way of doing business towards the government. We've for too long been complying with hostility, and hostility that is not mollified by our compliance. It's time to be just as hostile.
Yep.
Here.
And we got to use the word mollified. That's even, you don't get to use the word mollified enough, really.
Anyway, coming soon, guys. Excellent. Or maybe not if we win before we get back with you.
This is true. Anything can happen, right? Okay. I'm going to refresh. I might have already refreshed. I can't remember, but yes, I did. But
not safe for work.
I saw that. I saw that.
I wonder what it is.
I would deem it safe for work.
Okay, we can.
I think it's safe.
We can click the button live on there. You think it's all right? We don't have any.
You work in a place that's any good, anyway.
Okay,
I think it's safe.
Okay,
it's my living room. I just want you to know.
It's from Cliff's Crypto, right? I don't think he would post something that would get us in trouble. Do you? Anyway, so I'll read the question first. Can someone tackle the rumor? Spelled the rumor that Rhodes is Satoshi.
See, this is where I said I heard an English accent this morning when you were
Oh, that's
talking, Joe.
funny. Oh, do you think
Yeah,
Satoshi
that was the
has an
truth
English
bomb I
accent?
was going to drop right now.
Rumor. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm going to click it.
To evaluate.
And for anybody who doesn't know, we have smart
You're
contracts.
screen sharing the thing.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Explain this, Joe.
So there's a not safe for work and what are the others?
Spam
Spam
and
abusive have slightly different rules where not safe for work will hide any images. You can click on it so you can say, oh, is it really not safe for work? See, I've said this isn't safe for work because I wanted to make sure it stayed that way. But either way, that if enough people it'll veer the consensus one way or another, then the tag will basically be inactive or not. So it's
cool.
A clean way to do it.
If I were to go down and see that somebody was just maliciously tagging somebody NSFW, I could downvote that, and as soon as you downvoted it for that post, it would it would basically get rid of that hide.
Yep, and for the record, I mean, if something is tagged improperly, you need to see it as an opportunity.
Right.
To say that tag's wrong.
To win on calling the tag wrong.
Yeah.
That's a windfall right there.
Yep. So let's see. Oh, yeah. See, I'm going to mark.
There's the real Satoshi Nakamoto right there.
Wow, Joe. I don't know.
Is that the real Slim Shady?
It doesn't look like me right now with my hair. I do need a haircut. Pretty bad.
All I can say is
you guys do have a similar ring
not
pattern in the beard.
Stuff.
I think he has a box of sugar on that table in the back. Is that isn't that pink box sugar?
Oh, that's
Sweet and Low.
Sweet and Low. Okay.
What are you talking about? That's cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is for anyone who doesn't know. This is Manuel Noriega from Panama. I'm joking. See, it's the same thing every time, isn't it? The long arm of the international law.
That's so damn insane.
Hey. Bringing that, I'm glad you brought that up. You think we're going to invade Panama for the canal?
Oh,
I don't remember.
I don't know what's going to go down there.
There was a Clint Eastwood movie that was Grenada, wasn't it? Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
it's the Panama.
If you were being hunted, do you think your eyes would look like that?
Yeah,
I imagine they would.
I will tell you. I think the greatest thing that came out of the capture of Saddam Hussein, which I think they shouldn't have captured him. They should have let him live. They should have let him remain. If you ask me, knowing what I know now,
we shouldn't have gone into that stupid war to begin with.
Right, that war shouldn't have happened. But
they couldn't put him down. They had to put him down because he was going against the petrodollar. He wanted to sell oil in the dinar.
Might think that. But we don't have actually a whole lot of information he was doing anything different at all, other than just being a punching bag after he was a paid, basically a paid.
Well, and it was
one of our
central bank.
He's one of our puppet people. The reason
there was some central bank stuff too, right?
He thought we had his back.
Yeah.
Definitely with Libya, and I'm actually a fan of Gaddafi now. I mean, he would show up like he was a rock star with an entire train of people, and he lived in a tent when he was staying in the U.S. Is like
well, I mean,
that guy.
Aside from all the tyranny, maybe he's a likable guy.
I don't think. Read the Green Book. Read the Green Book and tell me if it's tyrannical, because I think it was probably pretty close to what we would want.
I think permitting your society to be structured that authoritarian is just.
I don't know. I don't know that it was.
Well,
anyway, read the Green Book. Is like I don't think that it was anything that we've been told for years. But either way, the one good thing that I was going to say that came out of Saddam Hussein being captured was the memes where they'll show some complicated structure and then they'll have just a hidden Saddam Hussein laying on his back somewhere in the diagram. It's freaking hilarious. It's really fun. Anyway,
the U.S. messaging to the puppets that it will hang them if they get out of line.
I'm unfortunately not Satoshi. I do share his birth date. I have the same birthday as Satoshi. Unless I did it in some, whatever you would call it, some mental state, and I lost my keys. So I'm still searching for them. Right. Anyway. All right.
Whoa.
Same birthday. Whoa, hold up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Hold up. Same birthday. There's the key right there.
I've always known.
Joe Rhodes is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Greg, you've always known what?
I've always had a hunch.
Yeah.
It's not vocalized. Honestly, if there was somebody capable of doing it with the technical skill demonstrated by running Dragon Chain while building it, then, I mean, you don't see a lot of chief engineer, chief executives. It's like at Elon Musk level. So you can see it. I can see it being valid.
I get a lot of flack for that too, by the way. Oh, you just think that because you're technical. Normal people don't understand that stuff. And I'm like, people understand this.
I think maybe the best evidence is the number go up. He's anti-number go up, and that's why the Satoshi wallets have not moved.
Maybe.
I personally think Andrew's a pretty good candidate too, though.
Yes, it's Andrew.
Andrew.
I'm working towards that beard.
Yes. Speaking of which, the gray in Hussein's beard, I'd never noticed that. See, I think I need to.
You share a graying pattern.
I need to dye my beard or something, man.
You should just go all in and go even more pronounced gray to try to get the exact beard pattern. Nobody would know you were referencing it. It'd be funny.
I think it's pretty close.
You found the fountain of youth, Joe, because in this picture you look much older.
Oh, yes.
Have you been to St. Augustine?
How did you escape Iraq, actually, now that you mention it? And why did you create Bitcoin?
Real quick.
Oh my goodness! No, Joe can certainly pull it off, and he talks about. We're probably going to get into the whole is Bitcoin, a Fed-controlled psyop thing, but
I think I saw
Joe has admitted that he's been a contractor for top secret work, and I think there's some match. There could be some match here. He's clicking off more boxes.
Are you saying that Joseph Fed
was? I'm going to say he was.
No,
I'm going to show you guys this picture right here.
He was a contractor.
Yeah. If I can get to it, geez. All right, let's see.
But then again, so was I, so I can't really say anything about that. Not with the FBI though.
So was Edward Snowden.
I was a collaborator at one point in time.
I'm going to show you this one. Week 25 of Gaddafi maxing. I'm only 22. Had to use special creams. I love this one forever. Oh God, you can't beat something like this. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, that one's brilliant. And I thought that I haven't set it saved, but I don't know if you guys know, Google Photos censors various comment, like normally it used to be able to search the text and the images. Now it searches the text and the images, but certain words no go. You get flagged, everything else. It's crazy. Google Photos.
Wait, you mean your account is now tagged on searching for certain words that they are blacklisting specifically? Or is it more sinister than that? Are they turning that bot that was unable to generate pictures of white people when you asked for the founding fathers? Is that what they're targeting at the search and saying, hey, flag these?
Yeah. Similar stuff to that. Yep. It's kind of
Thomas Jefferson was a black man. Have you not seen Hamilton?
Dude.
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
All I gotta say is everyone wants to go to dogpile.com. It has all the good results.
Yeah. Or actually, if you're looking for anti-regime stuff, Yandex, because it's the Russian search engine, they're always reliable at surfacing things the U.S. doesn't want you to know.
Use Yandex. That's my go-to.
Yes, everybody. We are Russian assets.
Yeah.
I am KGB.
Yandex mostly gets pretty good stuff.
Well, according to the way they define what a foreign adversary is these days, that's actually a fair thing to say. We probably all are, because we have said things that overlap with what they have said.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
That's how they define it.
I'm
not kidding. That's actually official policy.
Mm-hmm. My mom was a joke before, but a real alternative, since you guys are throwing one out there, is CRX.search. It's a good alternative.
CRX. Okay. I'll look at that. We've never ordered Round Table Pizza for the Round Table. I don't know if I've ever had Round Table Pizza.
Is it possible to send a pizza to, like, a quarter of a pizza to each of, like We have to divide it into fifths at this point, but that would be cool. A service where you could actually just share a pizza with friends, literally. They'd send you 3 slices each, kind of thing.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
And I'm not wearing
I'm just wearing. Are we going to pay for it in Zcash?
Oh yeah, at least if not Monero or
Xano.
Like Xano would be good.
We can't have it traced back.
I think we should we should tokenize the pizza on Xano.
Yes.
Then decide what happens. What happens when you eat?
I don't know.
Can you have your slice micro
license to a pizza building application that connects to your own 3D printed pizza at home?
Yeah, and maybe you would just, if you buy a portion of my tokenized pizza, it is rights to any pizza that I might currently possess. So if you show up at my house, you would own a portion of my pizza. Maybe that would be.
You guys know that I used to own a pizza business?
No way.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Yeah, maybe you delivered it.
It was called Penguin's Pizza. It was called Penguin's Pizza. We put up flyers. That's eventually what got us interdicted by the super local government as the apartment management.
Of course.
I proceeded to try to make a deal with them, and we were in negotiations when I left there arbitrarily. But anyway, we would deliver frozen pizzas. You'd call us. Our Google Voice number would take your message, and we'd see we had a message on our phones or whatever that was brand new at the time. It was super cool. And so we just wait for someone to send a message, and we'd tell them what to preheat the oven to in a message back.
Wow.
And then we'd show up with basically whatever pizza we had on hand, and they just had to take whatever it was we were stocking.
I have a couple of pizzas.
We buy them for $8 and sell them for $8 a piece.
Nice. I have a couple of pizzeria stories that never came true. I had a friend who dreamt, and this is the beginning of my fascination with the Fibonacci series. Okay. He wanted to start a pizza business that was Fibonacci's Pizza. And you had to order by the slice, and it was hilarious. He would do this. You can order 1 slice. You can order 2 slices. You can order 3 slices. You cannot order a 4 slices. It's freaking
At that
hilarious.
point, the package jumps.
That's how the pricing would work. It's just brilliant. Anyway, all right. So let's see here. Next question.
Once you get to the pizza level, though, it multiplies the system doubly. So you get 2 pizzas instead of 1, 3 pizzas, but not 4.
Ooh, anonymous.
All right. Let's see here. Anonymous. See, this is great. Is Bitcoin a psyop, or did Bitcoin spawn the idea that the government should create a CBDC? Who wants to take this first? This is great. There are only 5.
I would like to take this question first.
Right on.
Bitcoin is a psyop, but it's not a psyop that the government created. It's a psyop that the government co-opted. It originally was a psyop. Let's put it that way. If you want to think about an attack on the roots of money, that is how obviously Satoshi intended it. He didn't say that much, just the cryptic comments in the first block about what was going on at the time, but that's why it was built, right? So psyop, co-opted, inverted. Did it spawn the idea? Absolutely. Although I would say Ethereum and the stable coins it was issuing were probably more directly responsible. But you could say right then, like Ethereum wouldn't exist if it weren't for Bitcoin building the model. So,
and Ethereum wouldn't exist if they weren't jerks, and he wouldn't have left Bitcoin, right? So,
he probably would have tried to turn Bitcoin into ETH.
Yep. Zach.
On a government intelligence level, no, Bitcoin was never intended to be a psyop, but was it co-opted, as Greg said? Yes. And that spawned that it did. It generally spawned the idea that the government needs to get into a digital avenue, which they've already had this set up to begin with. We've already been creating money digitally without actually having to issue new paper dollars. So, yes, I mean, the CBDC has been in creation for probably at least the last 30, 40 years. Bitcoin just gave it the steam that it needed.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Andrew.
I'm not going to say it's a psyop initially, I think it had predecessors that people were developing, trying to open source ideas and discussions for a couple decades at least, and then maybe there was somebody at the CIA, the FBI, that was tasked with watching these developments, so that they can keep an eye on it. And when it actually fermented into Bitcoin Core, like as a protocol, as an idea, and it was originally released, then it was slowly transitioned, and they've just been building towards a central bank digital currency since that point.
William?
Bitcoin is a psyop.
Nice.
I think it only works if you're I don't even get into that. Never mind. I'm not
No, I honestly think the cyberpunk movement was to try to dethrone money and put it in the hands of the people without third parties, and certainly not government and institutions being involved. That was their original intent, I think, when you look at their conversations amongst themselves, and that's boy, I don't even want to say Satoshi's vision, because then that gets construed different ways, but that was
as an OG cypherpunk. I only have to say that it's PH, not B. The B guys are totally different movement, more of an artistic style than ideology about privacy. Sorry, so I had to interject that.
I agree.
I would say I've always wondered. Now, I think especially the people originally early days Bitcoin. You could feel it. It was very. It was the right philosophy. It had a great. I don't know. It had a great feel to it, because everybody knew what we were building. I have always said, though, that you do have to be concerned about Bitcoin itself, just because of some of the facts that there are a couple of things that Satoshi knew that they didn't know why he made a couple of design decisions until years later, when how do I say, certain issues were exposed that no one knew before. So there was some reason that he knew some of these things, and then the other side is it would make sense if you could get some foreign power to use Bitcoin as their some type of a reserve currency or something, that it would be a great nation state rug pull event if you had the curve. And so there's some really crazy stuff.
Developers turn into privacy coin after that.
But that said, I think more than anything, and this is my selfish take on it, that it being put in place to essentially show what could be done if you had a legitimate scarce currency that would be used by real people. It's night and day compared to what every other nation state does with fiat currency.
Yeah.
And that's even for some really interesting things like the supply that you can, it's algorithmic, so you can know what the supply will be at the point in the future, where you can't know that even with gold, right? So there's a bunch of really neat things there. But it also pointed to the fact that the power of the ability to print money, right? That it's obvious. Oh yeah, if I could print money, right? If money grew on trees, what every parent says at some time to their kid, that the real power of it is pretty amazing, because even though Bitcoin had a tiny population in the early days, and it had had a little bit of media attention, but that took a while too.
Yeah.
It ballooned to the amount of energy that humans were putting into what it wanted done. And what did Bitcoin want done? Blocks. That's all it wants done. That's all it gives a shit about it. The code doesn't care what you spend it on. It doesn't care if you have fucking laser eyes on Twitter. Okay. It doesn't care about any of that stuff. All it cares about is making new blocks. And the fact that an honestly springing currency can cause so much energy in the world to be applied to its goals is amazing. That's what and then then you explode it. It's like a hydra. The banks tried to kill Bitcoin, then the Bitcoiners decided they wanted to join the banks, and now we're in this weird situation where Bitcoin only has a brand and a number go up motive, and that's pretty much it. Right?
I got to add something to that, because there's one there's a little bit of a white pill in all of this. If people can remember it as not the first decentralized currency, but as the first database that you could share with an arbitrary number of geographically dispersed sites without having to do book consolidation at the end of each transaction day, an expensive process that requires manual labor on the parts of skilled accountants and skilled engineers, depending on what you're doing with it, right? This underlying structure is open source, and the open source code that controls this code base are still open for the contribution. All it would take would be a critical mass of people wanting to take it back. You would just have to have a certain set of skills.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
It is open source. We could.
So go out and pirate it back. Let's take back our PSYOP and point it back at the enemy.
Same time, I prefer. The great thing about it is I dislike the human tendency to go towards a brand, right? That's the only real drawback. Having a fork is actually great. Having two of them, which have differing protocols and or differing ways to manage the protocols, is what we want. We want as many of those as possible, because one of them fails, it's like, it was a good experiment, right? We know not to do whatever it was that made that fail, right? And it's just this weird thing with the media and all the and how much corruption is in all that as well. So I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. I actually like the landscape of it. I wish there were more different protocols. I wish there were fewer copy paste networks, right?
We need to do a protocol show where we try to list as many as possible, because I bet you would be blown away by how many I've just recently heard of.
We need a game show for that.
Yep. My goodness.
Yep. Too bad.
Can you name that, by the way, protocol in three lines?
I'm going to call
Even
for
in two.
Anyway, whatever. I won't even go to. Okay, next question. Let's see here. Revanchist, somewhat unrelated to the topic, but curious what you guys think of the latest meme coin madness. Most people think crypto is for crooks and con men, and now the crypto bros have spent $200 million to put a very obviously corrupt meme coin grifter into office. Crypto Reddit exploded the past week with people worrying we made a mistake getting rid of Gensler. Wait, what? People worrying we made a mistake getting rid of
coins, guys. Gensler brought us the meme coins is the answer to the fucking question.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll get to. I understand the reason behind it.
Everything else
aren't great. Okay, how about I start? We'll go down. Is that all right? Oh, shoot. Yeah, I wasn't even. I didn't have it. I apologize. Go ahead and read it there.
No worries.
I thought it was up. I'll start. The only reason you have meme coins, exactly as Greg said, is because of Gensler and other nefarious people at in the office regulating stuff. That I believe this was intentional. This is what they wanted. They tried with Libra at Facebook. They were going to get all of your grandmas were going to have their entire life savings in Libra because it's Facebook. And I can do my thing.
It's generous to call this the Cobra effect. You're right.
And it would lose all their money. That didn't happen. So they you look at FTX. What was FTX doing? And now you look at the only
FTX,
thing
the derivatives trader who managed to trade
that's what I'm saying.
on the housing market instead of, or the crypto market.
I was saying it was entirely the what they want is to make crypto look as bad as possible. And when people support those things and they go, bully for Sam, and you support things like FTX when it's not even crypto, like you said, right?
Right. It's a derivative shop, for fuck's sake.
That's why they're doing
and the weird thing is they want to turn around and it'd be like Lehman Brothers goes bankrupt, and instead of going after the bankers for breaching their fiduciary duty and committing fraud, they go after the home builders.
Yep. It's disgusting. And so you can see who's pulling their strings and stuff, but the only projects that they don't go after in the past couple of years has been do nothing projects, things that are just there for
Right.
the meme, or even there were a lot of them weren't even that maybe I would say precede the meme coins, that were useless crypto that someone from Goldman Sachs came
Well,
out and did, and nobody's can go after them. So anyway,
two key
William.
points. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, we'll get it. William.
I will not talk ill of the Trump coin or our President Trump or the Melania coin. They will use their newfound wealth for good.
Okay, good deal. Very good, very good. What do you think, Andrew?
Well, I'm just here to pump Dentacoin. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if Greg, if Williams got if Williams got Trump coin, then I got Dentacoin.
That's awesome. Was Dentacoin actually for dentists?
That's
really
what that was. They were
Okay.
trying to. They were trying. They just
Okay.
Well,
One out
They
of
couldn't
90.
Ninja Debt was
winner.
already taken, which would have been a cooler token name than a toothpaste.
1 out of
Remember
97
Mentadent?
dentists
Yeah.
choose Dentacoin.
Yes, there you go. That's right. I was wondering. That's perfect. That's perfect. Zach.
I'll test myself.
Oh, I'm just here to prop up silver and gold, and buy your copper too. It's very
Okay.
cheap right now.
Gold
Make sure to pay
coin.
for an expensive vault from the only contractor in the area.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure you pay me though if you want to store it though.
Very good.
There you
Yeah,
go.
very good. You make sure you store that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we're finally to you,
Well,
Greg.
Can I?
Okay,
Go ahead,
Okay.
Greg.
Oh no, you go ahead if you have a point.
You
I
have to
didn't
wait till he
interrupt you.
starts talking.
Okay, so
I wanted to just say that the crypto Reddit people that are upset that
Worst.
getting rid of Gensler, and had Gensler been in place, the Trump coin wouldn't have happened. I think is kind of hilarious, because I'm sure if you opposed that viewpoint on Reddit, you would be censored or kicked off the subreddit because of their censorship. So that's all I wanted to say about this comment here.
Yeah,
All I gotta say though is Dentacoin will not make it to 100,000.
I have to throw
So
some Reddit memes.
So I just saw a comment, Peter Schiff. So watch Dentacoin go up to 100,000, Andrew.
right.
Okay, Greg.
Okay, so here's what I want to do is I want to put to bed the idea that meme coins come from anywhere but the intentional or Cobra effect related activities of the SEC. First off, in order to get caught under the SEC's net, you need to fail something called the Howey test as a token. And one element of the Howey test is that there's some identifiable management and that they're promising to make a profit, right? Meme coins actively promise not to. They promise not to manage it. They say, fuck you. They promise not to, well, they don't even promise not to rug pull you in most cases. And they promise not to make money at it or work on it in any meaningful way whatsoever once it's launched. This is just a meme coin. It is what it is. There's nothing else.
Yep.
We've already put up Discord and we're not doing anything else.
Yep.
Point two, the absurd names that they come up with that make them sound especially offensive to the ear of somebody looking at crypto as a scam or a joke. Those are intentional too, because the best ones evade SEC litigation because they don't want to be published in case captions with the names of the projects. So it's an extra layer of defense that they're absurd and at times beyond the pale a bit. It makes them sound scammy. They're doing that on purpose, and guess what? That's putting them right where the SEC wants them. Now they can look at crypto and say it's not regulated enough, and the harder they regulate the way they regulate, the more we'll just get bullshit.
Yep.
The way they can create a thing and then blame it. It's called a self-licking ice cream cone.
That's the truth. It shouldn't exist. The SEC shouldn't exist. I mean, frankly, that's the main point. Because even if you extend it to the traditional markets, it's still not good. Anyway, all right. Next question.
Great question, by the way, Reverend Chris.
That was excellent question. And by the way, are Redditors really saying that Gensler should have stayed?
I don't know. I would think
that.
so. I would think so. It would surprise me.
There's
and
at least
I used to,
anybody willing to say the
Redditors
opposite of what the regime's doing.
especially crypto redditors. If you want the worst of crypto, go to one of the crypto Reddit
Oh God,
subreddits. Good God, it
dude,
is
we
the
figured
worst,
out how to
worst place in
advertise
the
in
world.
there once. I will sell the secret to anybody who wants to buy it.
Okay, all right, right on. Okay, Alt Blocks has a question or a topic. Topic is Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. It's generally inferred that Bitcoin pays out old investors from new investors and basically works as a Ponzi. And given mining costs, gas fees, transaction fees, coupled with no underlying cash flow, means Bitcoin will inevitably collapse. Curious how true this is. So, who wants to start it?
I will.
All right, go.
Diamond hands to zero. Diamond hands to zero. I will hodl to zero.
All right. Okay.
Keeping
Very
it short and sweet today.
Excellent. Andrew, I like it.
I'm still holding my ant miners until we get to 100,000. No, I'm sorry, 500,000, and then I'm going to start mining.
That's a good plan. Zach.
I'm gonna be serious. Bitcoin. Bitcoin was never meant to be a Ponzi, but it seems that it has certainly become such that because we're focusing too heavily on number go up, and I think that's the Fed op. Obviously, I mean, whenever the bankers get into it, and the centralized forces, and more money gets poured in, then yeah, you're going to start seeing the big guys, the big investors are going to make something off of the platter of the little guys that are jumping into it. So yeah, it's become a Ponzi scheme. It's just become a number go up, security, commodity, asset, and I mean, just no different from the New York Stock Exchange. No different than selling and buying and trading shares and off of Wall Street, and that's not what it was meant to be. So
I don't think that's entirely fair. I think that it's at risk of turning into that at large. But like, for instance, if I need to send some quick cash to my bank account from Bitcoin for whatever reason, or from any other token for that matter, one really easy way to do that is to just trade into Bitcoin and send it to Cash App, because Cash App only accepts Bitcoin as a token, and Cash App will also do instant deposits. So you can go from Bitcoin to cash same day. It's one of the only ways left to do that. But there is still a way, and because of the support that some of these services that add value have put on it, it's now a bit more than a Ponzi scheme. Now it's kind of like a thing that is a Ponzi scheme or could become one that also does a lot of good on the side that nobody talks about.
yeah.
So it's not completely fair to say that, and as long as services that give that utility to people exist, it won't collapse. Not totally.
I did not know that about. Yeah, I did not know that about Cash App. So they actually.
Yeah, I wish they did.
Fucking,
wow.
Jack
Cash
Dorsey
or
owns it,
something
and he's
else.
a fucking maxi. But anyway, that's another argument.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, maybe they'll, who knows. But anyway, my take on this is that Bitcoin itself, I wouldn't say is a Ponzi scheme, because it is only an inflationary asset, with an algorithmic decrease in the inflation itself. So more than anything, it would be whatever you would call the stock market, because that's where all of the promotion and actual price action happens. And I don't know. I think stock market probably be more appropriately called a casino. You might have some Ponzi schemes in there, but mostly it's a casino, and with a little bit of skill involved. You have to do some research occasionally,
and you can learn how to play the game and win. It's
if you can get elected, if you can get elected to Congress, for instance, it's a little less of a casino, right? Because
it's more like a guaranteed bet.
Yeah. So
to get that second term, man, you're on a rocket to leadership.
I would agree, Joe. It doesn't meet the definition of a Ponzi scheme at all. It is much more of a stock or casino. It's now it's been changed to digital gold, and it seems to function that way with exorbitant fees as the price goes up. So I don't think digital gold matches the definition of Ponzi scheme. How's that?
Yep.
I
Right,
do have
okay.
a white. I could apply a white pill to Bitcoin Core. It provides exponential and accelerating stress to the banking system, and is forcing them to clean up their act.
Until
Yeah.
Trump coin becomes the new reserve.
Man.
Dude, even
All right.
Trump coin is a great thing, right? You got to admit that that's a great thing because of how much
It's a
people
great
in the
thing.
crowd,
They're just
gonna
people
swap it.
who have
Buy
TV
my coin. Buy my coin, everyone.
That's
It's
what
a
you want.
great thing. We're gonna make
can-
America great again.
How can you top Trump coin? I mean, he's a president of the United States, and he's
It's like he
creating
found a
Ponzi
TDS agonist
scheme.
and then released it to the public.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I see the Trump coin marketing staff announcing deals with Putin and Xi, then I'll know that they're in the same league as the real crypto bros. Anyway, all right, next question.
We're gonna make these partnerships with Putin and Xi. We're gonna make America great again.
Yep.
Oh my God!
We already stopped your purge of Palestine.
Jeez, we didn't think it was gonna accelerate that fast to that level, right? all of the leaders in the world are gonna be crypto pros, and we're gonna be shilling different. It's gonna be crazy, isn't it?
I can just imagine Putin saying, "I will stop bombing Ukraine, but I will in return, I want some of that Trump coin."
By the way, guys, if you do want your own personal token, one of our longest customers, like these guys, I shit you not, have been building from the beginning of Rivet. Like they were one of the first people to adopt us, and they've stuck with us ever since. Not a big account.
What is it?
Consistent account. They're called Roll, ROLL, and it's for creating your own personal token. So all you need is an ETH wallet and some gas, and you can name it whatever you want, and it can be your coin.
Is not roll. What's how do I get there? I want to show.
Gaddafi coin.
ROLL.
What's their site though? What's the website?
I'm not sure what the website is actually. I think it's roll.io, but or roll token.
Z is Winnie the Pooh coin.
I'm looking. I'm gonna look. Somebody else.
Hang on, I got it. I got it right here.
Find it.
Well, if Google will do anything.
I'll read the next question. How's that, Joe? While
yes. There you go. Yeah. Go.
This blockchain is synonymous with Bitcoin. So blockchain equals Bitcoin. Question: can the blockchain panel discuss this common crypto myth? People use that term Bitcoin and blockchain as if they're the one and the same.
What's your answer on that?
Well, obviously it's not. Bitcoin just utilizes a blockchain. It's the first coin that was created to use blockchain in the world, giving it kind of the Kleenex effect, if you will, in the name. And blockchain was so new and foreign that to describe Bitcoin, everyone was using the word blockchain, didn't know what blockchain was. And so in our short, limited attention spans, the two became linked and became permanent in people's brain as if they're one and the same. That's how I would give the history of it. But of course, they're nowhere near that. Other coins use blockchain, other tokens use blockchain. And blockchain is just a different form. It's a different database is what it is that blockchain uses. How's that?
Good. I like it. I like it. Andrew?
Well, I mean, I'm going to kind of go off of what William was saying. It's positive marketing. It's that they're trying to distort the name so that they can, co-opt it a little easier for them. But I think about back when there was a listing on the stock exchange, and somebody renamed it to Long Island Blockchain, and it pumped immediately. So it doesn't really matter from their perspective. They're just trying to make money. But the people that are playing for power, they're going to try to use every psychological manipulation possible to distort and take control of the situation for their own ends.
Yep. Zach?
Blockchain is more of a technique. Bitcoin is just the first avenue. I mean,
Right.
So to say that it's synonymous with Bitcoin would be incorrect, because if you don't have Bitcoin, in my opinion, initially you don't gravitate towards innovation and evolving, and you end up getting on the chain ETH, Dragon Chain, Monero, like all these are just split offs, right? So without the blockchain, if the blockchain was just synonymous with Bitcoin, then Bitcoin would just be, well, the dollar.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Greg?
Well, I would say the first answer I would give to this is that blockchain is a protocol, and a protocol is essentially a set of general ideas about how to make a thing that you put into a published work that people can propose changes to, right? And then with it, you can build specific instances of that protocol in action. Bitcoin is the first one and the first reference implementation for those general ideas. So like the idea that the ledger should be peer-to-peer and that it should use some kind of consensus mechanism to make sure that the data coming into it's true. And that mechanism, if you want to call it a blockchain, needs to have this pattern to it. But not this pattern in the sense that this is how you technically do it. Because like UTXO versus account-based they're both still blockchains, right? It's like a level of thing that usually flies beneath most people's radar, and I don't think the idea has been necessarily intentionally weaponized in every case. I think there's a lot of just common misunderstanding about what a protocol is versus what a reference implementation of a protocol is. And yes, Bitcoin does have a place of pride, right? It has a seat at the very, very head of the table. It's the first example of the thing.
Yep.
But the thing is blockchain. Bitcoin is just one instance of it, one iteration.
Application.
The second answer, right, is that this is also kind of part of the PSYOP. And you can't, I just want to point people quickly to the Corbett report, because he does this great thing on the Bitcoin blockchain PSYOP. It's 2018 era Corbett, but he does this bit, and it has the speech by Nick Szabo in it. It's just fantastic. Like, you guys need to go see it and learn how this distinction has been used to confuse people about what blockchain and crypto actually is.
Yep. And I'll say this is very interesting, because in the early days, and when you were trying to get adoption or get especially at Disney Dragon Chain, that this came in to some of the problem. Here we are with a completely from scratch implementation of a blockchain that could interact with Ethereum and Bitcoin. And I mean, we got, and they weren't like attacking questions, but we got some people in very high upper management asking, but isn't Bitcoin used for drugs and to behead people? And literally it's to behead people. I'm like, no, I mean,
you must be a Liz Warren
so than cash. And so anyway, it was an interesting point, but it becomes this thing where Bitcoin is brought along, and then if they, you can look at all of the ways that manipulation happens, and if you can get an attractor, which would be Bitcoin in this case, where they can essentially map any negative events to Bitcoin, right? And then you associate Bitcoin with blockchain, the tech itself. Now you're muddying the whole thing on purpose. It's the same thing they do with the word terrorism and various other, bad words in the world. They will get everything mapped to that, and then all they have to do is call you that. All they have to do is call you a terrorist. You're going to go to prison. All they have to do is call you a racist. You're going to get canceled. It's that type of thing. That's what this was. And an important historical part of this is that Satoshi, even in that window of time that he was actively putting stuff out, posting stuff, he spoke about Namecoin. And I think it's the only other chain that he spoke of. And it was, if you ask me, a killer application that it was way too early, and some of the protocol, some of the token economics were not well balanced. That is, it was too easy to lose your domain, in my opinion, and various things like that. But the fact that you could, and ENS, Ethereum Name Service, and that there's I think there are some other protocols there too. Those are all, I think, taking the place. But the fact that you could map an asymmetric key where I can prove that I own this to a domain and to like something like SSL would be an amazing thing to decentralize that whole issue with SSL certificates, which is really not good. Bad security stuff, compromised. It's really bad. This would be a really great way to do it.
Basically, a good reason for the number of hacks we have in the United States and around the world.
And you think about it, a browser like Brave should it's like, we're going to use this and we're going to prioritize it. So essentially, get people to move to that. We don't have to use Chrome. We don't have to use Opera. Or I should say Safari. We don't have to. We don't have to use those. You can. Why aren't we really using this system?
Right.
Anyway.
If everything were strong encrypted, hacking would be dead. No one would get their shit stolen.
Yep. And there are a bunch of other very interesting things related to that in terms of if you take a broader view, because the one interesting thing about blockchain and smart contracts, and someone answered about when a block is created, that you have to check that all the nodes are checking whether this transfer is valid, right? If it has to reference the chain itself, at its base. But if you go a level above that, you could make arbitrarily complex activities on chain by linking to other chains with some level of criteria to say, I will only accept data that is at least this old on Bitcoin because I know that it would cost $1 billion to fake that data. That type of stuff could lead to some really interesting things where you could trust the validity of some data that you don't really have much other than that it was put there long enough ago and no one has countered it with money, or even though they're and that whole thing with bounties and stuff. You could really tie some crazy stuff together.
Excellent point, because that ties back into last week's show when we talked about debunking conspiracies using blockchain. You nailed it, Joe, on that one. Yeah. Hey, so just real quick, as duly elected, unanimously voted emperor of a DAO, first in the world, Ichiban, numero uno, first one. We have someone in the chat who may be royalty, King of JV. King of JV is, I guess, junior varsity. I don't know. It says Trump Frog coin is where it's at.
Trump
Frog. Oh my gosh!
Wait, Trump Frog.
We have a king telling us that Trump Frog is where it's at, and he uses the popcorn emoji. Usually royalty does not provide financial advice, nor do I ever provide financial advice, and so maybe we should debunk this king as royalty if he's providing financial advice. However, he could be making a joke.
Yes, right. And there is competition also.
I recommend that he immediately get on Den and join the World Blockchain Roundtable lair, so that he may either vote on topics, add commentary, or ask questions that we can totally answer in full detail, because I would have loved to take that one on during a question.
And I would like to know what JV is. Define JV. Yeah. Who is JV? Anyway, king of what?
This is true.
I would embrace royalty as one myself.
Sushi swap is the way to go for Dragon token, by the way, if you're a new aficionado such as myself.
I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. And by the way, it's you look into how many coins have been banned on the decentralized exchange of Uniswap.
Like only one I know of.
That's
weird to me.
Decentralized.
I can't. That's I
have to really piss somebody off over there, man.
It's an honor, I think.
You must have spilled your drink on someone like after they got notified they were getting divorced or something.
But you know what? You could swap, Hawk 2 on that one.
Really? Yeah. Wow. Probably
Yeah,
all
oh, you
Yeah.
totally can.
Wow.
But you can still get Luna
let
on
me
there.
ask, what let me think here. What decentralized exchange does Coinbase use? Because I know their wallet, people have told me that they've seen it there. So
Coinbase bought a good friend of ours actually, who did a
Really?
decentralized exchange. If anybody remembers Total, TOTLE, they got
Oh, I
acquired by
believe
Coinbase
so.
once upon a time.
Yeah.
One of the fun fact and full disclosure, one of the guys who one of the guys who was in leadership that company is one of our investors now. So Rivet would not be here were it not
Very
for
smart people.
Total.
And speaking of which, this is it, I think. Tryroll.com, right? So
All right.
I
that's
am
what Greg was
definitely,
looking for, correct?
Yeah, those guys
Yeah.
are cool
I
as
am
fuck.
definitely gonna make that Mazel Tov coin.
Dude, and some
Right
some
on.
really smart developers over there who've been dedicated to this for so long. Like you guys have no idea how long these guys have been building. It's basically been since 2017 or earlier.
That's great.
As soon as you can really start a project on ETH, these guys were at it, and they've
That's
just
nice.
been relentless. They're a great team.
I'm going to make the
Can't recommend
first
it more.
official Trump coin on this site.
Okay. I do think we probably need to create a roundtable coin, and I was working on. I think that I even have some music that we can theme it with, and some. So maybe we can share that later. All right. Anyway,
We got to
let's
go
see.
fast. We got to go rapid
We do.
answers here.
Really okay. Especially since they're all Williams. I think William, does he get to answer? Anyway. Short answer. Everyone,
Listen to
myth.
you.
Cryptocurrencies are only used for illegal activities. Question: can the blockchain panel discuss very short snippets this common crypto myth? And I'm going to go to Greg because I think he has probably the most correct answer,
Concise.
maybe the most concise.
I'm going to say two things. Cryptocurrencies are clearly not only used for illegal activities. I personally use them for regular activities all the time. I'm imagining that everybody here does. It's hard to find somebody who doesn't. So don't believe this bullshit. The next point we got to make is you want to look for a currency in which the most illegal activity is conducted. You need to look no further than the U.S. dollar. It still accounts for the bulk of crime worldwide, including some of the very most evil, worst, the ones committed by state entities. Like if you want to know what the dollar's up to these days, it's sending cluster bombs to explode later in the Ukraine, and helping to racially cleanse a people off the face of a beach in the Mediterranean. And that's the dollar. So if you want to have a conversation about which one has done more bad in the world, then let's start there.
Excellent. All right. Let's go, Zach.
I just want to say Ross William Ulbricht is free.
That's
And Silk Road, yes, there were some illegal activities going on. Illegal, whatever. It's a marketplace. If you don't like it, stay away from it. But at the same time, if the Silk Road was bad, then what about St. James Island and the Epstein affair? That's all I got to say.
Yes.
Point, Andrew.
All I got to say is, if you're gonna say that using crypto or whatever for regular financial activity is a criminal act, it's because you're just trying to gain the market. I had a big pay card back in 2017. All I'd use it for going to like Sonics and stuff like that on my way to work. It's regular activity to people that want to use it for regular money.
My answer is real criminals use real money. I got to hide the serial number because I don't want to be traced. But dead presidents, that's the criminals like to use dead presidents. That's all I'm saying.
I like it. Well, I will say, I can't find some of the stats worldwide for things like armed robbery, but let's say the total number of murders in the world is about 100 times less than the Dragon Chain demonstration that we did in number of transactions in a day, right? And that's just one blockchain. So, and we have somewhere between 420 and 500 and something million transactions since 2018, and there have been far more. How do I say this? Far more than the number of various types of crime worldwide in that same time period, right? And that's just one chain. So, anyway, there's it. This is just a narrative that they try to push to make crypto look bad so that they can pin other things on it, right?
Yep.
So that's how it works. That's what it is. I was the last one, right?
Their bag.
Yep.
Okay.
I
30
will
seconds.
say one last thing. I will say, like, Bitcoin or the blockchain in general, it's a good tool for like criminals to use to money launder, but at the same time, they're still making their currency in the dollar. Like the crime is
Well,
still
and
being
and
the
it's
dollar.
depending on the chain too. It's also very
Yeah.
it's an issue, right? Because it's more traceable to the any
Mhm.
evidence they can prove.
Exactly.
So yeah, doesn't make sense. Okay, myth.
Less than
blockchain
30
transactions.
seconds for each answer, please.
Blockchain transactions are anonymous. Can the blockchain panel discuss this common crypto myth? Greg. Oh, is Greg? Shoot,
Greg is frozen.
All right, Zach.
Someone pay
Greg
some
will come
money to
back.
give Greg unfrozen. Crypto myth. This is definitely a myth.
The feds did it.
Yeah.
They hacked the channel.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, no. Blockchain is obviously not anonymous. So, yeah, that's where I'm gonna yield my time to Andrew.
Andrew.
There was a debate between Tone Vays and Roger Ver a couple years ago, more than a couple years ago now, 2019, 2020, and they were talking about how they were saying, "I'm going to make a bet that this transaction will go through like that," and
Yes.
they said no. They said no, it's not. It's going to take forever. They were able to pinpoint that transaction and manipulate it right there on the spot. So there's no way that it's it's anonymous. You can just, they know how to filter people out.
Oh yeah.
Great history. The FBI prefers you use blockchain. They can trace that better than they can trace these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe.
All right. Mine. If blockchain were anonymous, you would have all of the federal agencies pushing to put all of their transactions on chain. Right. That's the main thing, because it's like that's the one thing they do not want is that transparency. So, yep. Okay. All right. Next question, William again. All right. Again, let's do 5 seconds or less. All cryptocurrencies are decentralized. Can a blockchain panel discuss this common crypto myth?
Absolutely not. Some are more centralized than you think. Ripple, for example, or XRP. Look at that. How the majority of the coins are still held by very few people. Wouldn't that be considered centralized?
Yep. Andrew.
Our software development teams are centralized. It's when there's one team that's in charge, then it equates to being centralized.
Good aspect. Zach.
I mean, you have centralized units. I mean, look at Tether, for example, and how it's so tied down to the most central currency around the world, the dollar. So, I mean, you have your decentralized chains, you have your like Monero, and then you have your centralized chains like Tether and Ripple, and also so you have a mix.
Yep. I would say definitely not all are decentralized, and like William said, Bitcoin is far more centralized than you might think, just because of the mechanics of it. And who doesn't expect that we're going to end up seeing a rebrand to decentralized bank digital currency at some point, so that or freedom currency, right?
What?
Peace currency. That's what it's going to be called.
We're going to make America great again.
Right on. Okay. Oh, wow. Myths. Satoshi Nakamoto was actually a government project to create a new global currency. We kind of covered this one.
We kind of covered this, but I do have one more thing to mention.
Okay.
Again, Joe, you were probably, when there's an informant and everyone gets arrested, they arrest the informant as well, just to throw everybody off that the informant was not the informant. And I'm thinking maybe that's why there was an SEC case against Dragon Chain, to throw us off the curb, to throw us off the whole hunt for the real Satoshi, who could be none other than our Joe.
Maybe this
would
is
be
a
effective.
pivot. This is a pivot by people in power that realize that the game's up, and if they create this project and make it open source, enough people will contribute, and they can pick who they want to be the winner and the loser.
I call it a myth. What do you think, Zach?
Satoshi Nakamoto, a government project, maybe, but I'm gonna say myth. But as far as like the snitch culture that we live in, like look how Ross was taken down. I mean, obviously that was a government sting. Obviously, those were informants that initiated contact with him within his chat on the Silk Road. So it's not it doesn't go as far away from the possibility that the government would utilize something to take down individuals such as Satoshi Nakamoto or Joe, for that matter, with the SEC case that Dragon Chain's been under. So it really wouldn't.
Myth or no?
Okay, hang on. Sorry, I had to reboot my machine, so
No
I need a second to read this.
Oh,
so myths.
it was
actually
Satoshi.
government. No, that's insanity. The obviousness of this fact can be seen in the Tor project, right? If they were going to build such a thing, they would take credit for it. They did the same for the internet. If they had the credit for this, they would absolutely take it.
Great point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they didn't take Oracle or Facebook or Twitter or their other creations, right?
Yeah, no, there's a difference. There's a difference between. Well, no, there's a key difference between being invested in by the CIA's venture capital firm and being a project sponsored by the U.S. government State Department, for example.
Right. Well, Facebook was LifeLog. That started as a project. That wasn't they didn't invest in it after the fact. That was literally started by them and for the purpose that Facebook served. So they don't always.
Which department did they start under? I'm very curious.
It was DARPA, I believe.
Who's responsible for it?
I believe it was
DARPA helped fund
So it was a DARPA project.
Or maybe DARPA
left that out of the
discovered it early on.
I don't know. I mean, they had the reason to make LifeLog, and it just
so is the movie that Reznor scored beautifully. Like the only great part about that film was really Reznor's score. But is that all just a myth, just like made up bullshit?
Yes.
Absolutely. If you read any of his roommates and stuff, that whole thing was a myth.
Does that make MySpace an alpha build, and Tom is really a CIA asset?
I don't
No,
know.
Thomas.
How much I care about Facebook.
I have to. Tom was too nice, man. I can't go against Tom.
All right, we are past due for the memes and current events. So
I have a quick current event, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my heart, from Elon Musk, my heart goes out to all these people. Because that's what he was talking about, was his heart. Was,
oh yeah, right.
When he was talking.
This is true. This is true, right?
My heart.
His heart. Okay, so
my heart.
Right. Did we all just
give trying to do the Roman salute
out there to all of you people? What would this one be? This one right here. How does that one work? Wait, it's like I accidentally did this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Roman
that was
salute.
weird.
As long as it's not mandatory.
Like the ADL was like defending him, and so I was like, wait, what? Wait a minute. This is so weird. I thought.
Yeah. Interesting.
Shapiro defending him.
Yeah,
like,
of course
like,
the ADL.
Well, it just goes to show who's willing to play ball with power.
Anyway, it's weird.
They're willing to play ball with power, man.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's like, hey, he's all right. We're
kissing the Trump ring, huh?
I love this one.
What else?
Well, there's the Trump coin, but we kind of covered that. Other than I'd like to mention the Trump coin in this manner. You know, thinking back to our founding fathers and kind of putting personalities and putting current people into that role back then, you could say Benjamin Franklin was very, very wealthy at the time, and so he could be kind of like Elon Musk, right, and an innovator. George Washington was a general, and his money was with Martha. He didn't have any money. He married into money. And George Washington was a general, a penniless general who didn't have the kind of money that a general today has, certainly a contract signing that they do after they leave the military is in the industrial complex. And Hamilton was this flamboyant, self-made man, very egotistical. And so I kind of look at the Trump coin is kind of plays off of Hamilton. I don't think a Washington would have done it. A Jefferson was a horrible money manager. He went bankrupt a couple of times and, basically sold his farm or for money to pay some of the other debts, paid Peter to pay Paul. So he wouldn't have done a coin, I don't think. He was more an intellectual and certainly not a numbers go up kind of guy. So I'm putting the founding fathers, I'm looking at Trump as kind of a Hamilton. And to be honest with you, I'm not a big Hamilton fan anymore. He's Federal Reserve dude. Fed.
Yep. Horrible.
I never was a fan.
Yeah.
Obrecht, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, I was very impressed with. That's why I was impressed that he called the mom, and he didn't just commute the sentence. He pardoned him. Like that. That was like I don't know. That's actually a very, very good, in my opinion, a very good indicator.
Yes.
Because he could have just done it and whatever, but no, there was something meaningful behind it. That's good.
I got a question on that because he was able to.
Ahead, Zach.
Yeah, because he gave Ross a full pardon. Do you think that this might possibly be a positive track for for pardoning, full pardon for Roger Ver?
I
hope so. It needs attention, though. Someone within the inner circle of Trump, someone who has Trump's ear, needs to match up the whole lawfare case of Roger Ver and Trump, because that's how Trump saw the Ross Ulbricht was lawfare.
Was the lawfare.
And had Trump not gone through all that lawfare, I think Ross would still be locked up.
I think I don't know. I saw a tweet. It wasn't Elon, but I thought I saw a tweet of somebody saying Elon is going to be looking into Roger Ver. So he might have. I mean, as much as I don't trust Elon as the technocratic communist he is, he does have Trump's ear, and if he's looking into it, that might be a good thing.
Yep.
All oligarchs are not communists.
Hey, but he's a technocrat, and all technocrats are communists.
Hey, did you say you had something that you wanted to pass along to everybody?
Who, me? Oh, yeah. My truth bomb that I was going to drop was that Joe is Satoshi because of the SEC case.
Okay. My bad.
We knew it.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks.
Baron Trump walking into the
Nephilim. The Nephilim. He's a Nephilim.
Pretty good.
Watch your head.
Let's see here. I've got one here.
He's lifting.
This is an interesting thing. Dragon Chain is now made in USA approved. I'm going to start. I think I'm going to. What's going on? I think we should consider to make that our kind of like our byline. It was like America's blockchain made in USA approved, right? Is it something
That's
like
good.
that?
That's good.
Because Trump has said that there's going to be no capital gains on US based crypto, which is super interesting. If that really happens, that would be an amazing thing. I'm trying to get this one to show, and I can't because it's a video and it won't play. But there is another current event that there was. What do I want to say? Some UFO thing that came, some thread on 4chan there was a crazy rabbit hole these people went down on. a whole bunch of weird. I don't know if you guys saw any of that. I'm trying to
No,
play it.
I didn't.
It won't play, so I can't show you. There was a video, probably fake, but it was there were some weird things that like they zoomed in on this egg and it had all of these embossed symbols on it. And
Really?
I'm like, what? Anyway, it's weird. It's probably AI generated or something. Who
Yeah.
knows?
It's pretty wild they can do that nowadays.
Boy,
Yeah.
So who will Ross tell his story, and will he go on, Tucker's show? But do you
he's
think we
doomed.
get Ross on World Blockchain Roundtable?
Oh, we should.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
You do. Yeah, you do know
yeah.
he's doomed. He's doomed to doing at least 20 libertarian podcasts for a year for the rest of his life.
I know that when we did Open Source Money, they interviewed his mom, right? Because we were big proponents of all of that, and we tried to get him to do a voiceover on a short commercial thing, like just from a phone, but we couldn't make it happen. They wouldn't let it happen. And then I knew someone, I won't say the name, who, it was the weirdest thing, texted me that he watched this show, and he I'm sorry, what do I need to do? Am I on the wrong thing here? No.
I'll be back.
Okay, cool. He watched this show, but he was a January 6th dude, and he'd been in and out of solitary, and he had actually been in one of the same facilities as Ross. So anyway, it's like, man, I don't know. It's amazing to see him out. So I just hope that he sues the government for all the Bitcoin they stole from him. I don't know how that would work. He can't. So Greg's not here to answer. He probably can't do that because.
Hold on to that. Yeah, hold on to that question for Greg because he should be back.
Okay. So. What else? What are the current events? There were a couple of others, interesting ones. What do you think? I don't know. What else happened? I mean, Trump coin stuff. That withdrew from the World Health, WHO, right?
Yeah.
Did that actually happen? Wow.
There was an executive order. I don't know if I don't know.
He seems to be stripping all the legacy people who were in Washington for a long time of their clearance.
That's right. That one's more important, probably. Getting John Bolton out of any ability to have a top secret clearance. Something's been, man. How long has he been an issue? Jeez.
Well, there also seems to be an exodus of a lot of government workers thinking that they're going to lose their jobs. It's all working itself out, I guess.
That's how
they don't want to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rumor has it that Putin is going to extradite what's his name, Anthony Fauci to Russia to face crimes. I don't know. It's just a rumor.
It's going to be an interesting thing to see the ranking level of Fauci versus Israeli politicians, won't it? Because when Congress realizes that he's going to try to extradite Fauci, are they going to block that? Like they have the World Court? That's a weird thing, right?
That is interesting. What's also interesting is the fact that how Biden was able to pardon people without any crimes or really any investigation. How do you pardon somebody unless you know something's up? So how can you pardon somebody without a crime in effect? That's what I don't understand. How does Fauci get a pardon?
Are they legitimate? I mean, would they hold up?
That's what I'm wondering.
Does this thing with Ross Ulbricht, does that open a door for people that are in jail for victims of crimes? They say, hey, if he got out, why can't we get out?
It sets a precedent, but probably not, because the laws still haven't changed. I mean, I'm hoping that we go onto a trajectory where it shifts, but the law as of right now is probably not going to change. I think to the point, Trump pardoned Ross fully because of the lawfare that he went through, but at the same time, you still have a lot of Republican constituents that are in it on Trump to be a law and order guy, and look at what Ross's marketplace was influenced to, which was mostly drugs, and Trump, uh, from what it looks like, he has advocated for a very harsher punishment against like drug dealers. So it's kind of interesting that he did fully pardon Ross, but I think he kind of did have that promise that he made the Libertarian Party, and then the lawfare that he's gone through, he certainly was able to use that influence. But at the same time, I don't think anything of the like's going to change as far as the laws. He's still going to go hard in on the law and order phase, of drug dealing, drug running.
Well, and maybe that's a counterforce that is needed for to a certain degree, but at the same time, like, I also think to equate Ross to a drug dealer himself is quite a bit different from the concept of the violent crime based sort of cartelish system that you usually think of when you think of the term drug dealer. Like, the term drug dealer, as invented originally, meant like a pusher in the neighborhood with the kids, right? Not a retail shop that you go to on the internet. And the fact that this guy just created a framework where people could do that and then managed it so that people got what they ordered, well, it's not the same thing as being a drug dealer.
And can I add to that? So in my, he was a website creator. He created a website that happened to be heavily used and an historically significant website, in fact, right?
Plus, he taunted them. There was that.
He taunted them. Well, and he wrote, if you go back and you read some of my, I was rooting this guy on. It felt like I was living in the cowboy days and I was rooting on Billy the Kid or something. It's like, yes, he took another bank down, right? That type of thing.
Yeah.
Is still it's dormant, but that type of thing is so attractive to a culture, and it's
there's nothing more American, honestly.
It's very American, and
turning an outlaw into a hero.
And if I would anybody who hasn't read him, go back and read his when he was posting as Dread Pirate Roberts, right? Beautiful, great everything, stuff. Amazing, and it was so brilliant, and
educational
that
too.
caused,
I learned a lot about privacy.
Because here's the thing, all of these, okay, let's say any of these websites that are an issue legally, right? Why didn't they go after Jeff Bezos? He ran Amazon. All this shit would have not been possible if Bezos hadn't made a framework possible for these people to host these websites that led people to do illegal things on them.
Well, and they started going after AWS, right?
And then you go to the, you go to Washington State. You go to, what have you guys done with Amazon to promote Amazon actually hosting this stuff, right?
Right.
You go on and on and on with
you can trace it all the way back to what ideas did your parents teach you?
Yep. And on the other side, if you want me to be maybe a little comedic but dark humor, it would be that maybe it was because the one thing that Silk Road would not allow, and it very heavily against it, was child pornography, right? If you look at that, that was a big thing. So if you look, was this evil? It's like, I say no.
Well, I mean, right? That said, like,
here's the thing,
because the model exists.
Wait, the juxtaposition on that and the dark humor involved is that the FBI ran the largest child pornography sites in several of the past many years.
Yep.
Well, the UK government may be running for that title now, though.
Okay, but you see what's
being uncovered there.
You see what's going on. Maybe he really called them out too much. It's like, wait a minute, we can't have the anyway. It's an interesting thing. It's a very evil, interesting thing. But,
well, I mean, the other thing worth saying here is the dark markets themselves. It's a pattern, right? It's a pattern that gets repeated. So technically, now, and this was in the Cypherpunk Manifesto, the Crypto Anarchist Manifesto that the original Cypherpunk Timothy May wrote, right? Like he said, there will be abhorrent markets for markets for targeted killings, markets for whatever we don't want to see. That stuff is there. anyway, and to hide the markets from the public and to try to target it at the market level rather than try to target it at the crime that's being committed level is a sin that our country has committed for too long. We shouldn't be pushing a single child pornography on your computer case until we've caught every last fucking child molester that's recording it. And that needs to be the priority.
Agreed. I think the Ross, the public Ross that we will eventually see, I hope, he's going to, I think, intelligent, smart kid, and kudos to the mama bear for fighting for her cub all these years. Hard fought, dedicated fight, battle after battle, and she won the war. And she was like I said, the mama bear here. So I'm glad to see them united. I think he's going to impress a lot of people.
Yep.
However, I wonder if he will be a little bit more not timid, but quiet in his political views and beliefs after being locked up in a cell. It changes a person.
Mm-hmm.
It could ignite him too. He's got a full pardon, so therefore he could run for public office. He doesn't have a felony on his record.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If I'm not mistaken,
he should. Hopefully he is able to do something like that or in the very least, get attention to a lot of these things because it would be a magnet for attention right now if he were to start talking, and that could help get Roger Ver out. It could help a lot of other issues. So it could do a lot of good.
Well, hopefully he doesn't take that lifetime membership that the LP is going to give him, because that would be stupid.
Yeah, right.
It's free though.
It would be interesting to see that Ross come out because he's an intelligent young man and he's got a lot to say.
Yep.
And
at least it'll get him on Dave Smith, if nothing else, if he goes to the LP Capitol.
Watch him run for president under the LP.
You guys think we can get Ross on here? Hey. I think we should try to get Ross on World Blockchain Roundtable. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
we should. Yeah.
It would be good. All right, let's see here.
Oh, this is a good one.
What else? I
want to highlight another Trump promise I hope he sticks to is the releasing of, and I think he will because he talked about in his speech, is the releasing of the JFK files, the RFK files, and the MLK files. And I think we're going to find out on the JFK files that LBJ had his hands all over that, and his blood in his hands, as the Warren Commission was a fraud. And I think what's going to come out, CIA was involved, FBI, Hoover cover up, all of that. And that's going to create a massive amount of questioning of our government, all the way down to the normie level. I certainly hope so. And hopefully good comes out of it, because it's all bets are off at that point. Because you're going to sign into law what? And you're going to try to make me do what after you did that, is kind of hopefully the mentality. Then the next thing I want to say is all of these, executive orders, these EOs, it's kind of like there's no scarcity in them. Every 4 years, they're just going to get bombarded with executive order, and they're going to lose their value in their.
Well, except for
it changes how our system of government was supposed to be.
Except for Chevron deference getting overturned may reduce them over time as they become more and more impotent.
Yeah, maybe. Let's hope.
Yeah,
that'd be good. Hopefully. All right. What other current events we want to cover?
You guys expect something like LulzSec to make a rare appearance? Not that group specifically, but people trying to, muck up trouble all over the internet. Do transparency. LulzSec, the hacking group from 2011.
Yeah.
You guys expect something like that to happen again? Oh, you don't know about LulzSec?
No, I know. I didn't know that was going to, or was there's talk that it's flaring back up, or what?
No. I was just wondering if you guys thought that they were gonna.
I think they scared the shit out
that.
of everybody on 4chan enough that it's probably not coming back.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was really entertaining.
It was really neat, and it was
that's just
an
Donald
example of
Trump
what
giving
free
the
people
Roman
do.
salute, everyone.
No, that's a wave. That's from the heart. The heart.
Yeah, wave. Roman salute.
On the heart.
Have you guys seen the images of like all the freaking Democrats doing that?
Yeah.
Like you can
AOC.
freeze frame anybody at the right time and make them look like they're doing whatever.
You can AI anything too.
Right. I mean, you don't even have to AI it. But
Exactly.
You can.
Okay.
Actually, if you want to see them do it in the nude, it's pretty funny. Denuding politicians using deep nudes is something that I've never shared, but enjoy privately.
Oh my god! No, please. don't get that memed in reality.
I'm just here to see them.
Just think. I'm gonna make
the
you
wrinkly
throw
grossness
up.
just right. The AI really does. The wrinkly grossness comes.
I'm
through
gonna
I'm
gonna make you rethink life right now with the deep nudes. Nancy Pelosi.
No, I have that one. It's gross.
Of course. Chuck Schumer nude while flipping a burger.
No.
I've also got Biden dancing nude on a conference table.
Oh God.
Dude. Yep.
That is
the FBI is gonna have all your thumb drives out on the table.
I've got to have some kind of like dead man file, right? I need insurance someday, hopefully, if I do anything important enough.
Man.
Shout out to Lisa and Sean. We miss you.
Yes. Yeah. It's always a better show. Let's see here. You guys know about the Minecraft 2.0 or whatever? Yeah, like he waited long enough or something that he can start another one now. I don't know what it is.
Neat.
Yeah, like that's
cool.
Amazing. So hopefully it's the case.
That's why open source is awesome.
That game.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying to think what else is there. Man, I don't even what else is going on? I mean,
executive orders. What's this comment or conversation that RFK may not be confirmed, or I know, Stargate, the whole AI thing. He might not want to proceed to his post or position because of the Stargate announcement yesterday in the Oval White House.
Yeah. Anybody who wants the two most evil people you could probably name let's put them in charge of genetic cancer weapons. I'm like, okay.
Wait, Gary Gensler's going into public health?
No. You have Larry Ellison,
Maybe.
Sam, what's his name from ChatGPT, Altman, and then the banker with UBS Bank or whatever.
God, what a boondoggle!
And
when will people learn that private enterprise does not work out when you publicize it?
And
I just learned maroon means idiot. I'm going to start using maroon now.
Maroon.
You can't build anything great with a bureaucracy. You just can't.
It's a Bugs Bunny thing.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. The whole Stargate, I listened to the press conference on that one that they gave, and and Trump talking about it, and then each of them gave their speech. The idea of AGI is soon, and super
AGI is already out.
Yeah, is sooner than we think. That's pretty scary. I mean, we're talking about some massive change in our society.
It's already being used to murder people. You know this, right?
AGI is already out, guys. Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
Here's an example. There's a project that you can run using open source software and an open source environment now, where the model will run on your local machine and is smarter than ChatGPT's O1 model, or O1 mini model. Like, it actually works better than it at a bunch of benchmark tests, and only fails the tests that OpenAI specifically invented to pump their own product.
I think we need a new test for the the Turing test. That if it were something like you have to get somebody from the hood versus the AI, and see
Good
if you can
point.
tell. I don't know, answering certain questions.
It also looks like that kind of general intelligence can emerge just from scaling up GPTs. So it's a matter of putting on more, not necessarily figuring out something that we haven't already figured out.
Man, well, and the guns too. When they attach them to the guns is when it really becomes obvious.
That's already happening in Ukraine.
Oh, and in Israel.
Suppose though it actually got better at not shooting people that it shouldn't shoot as police officers. Like what if it actually got implemented better to where criminals that needed to get shot got shot and nobody else?
Mistakes are going to be made. What happened to trial by jury?
Right. No, but as soon as it's better than cops at deciding what's a threat, it's going to save lives.
And it'll be used to attack.
Same argument can be made for self-driving cars, right? As soon as it's safer than the safest driving human ever, it's better because it saves more lives, right? You could say the same thing about robots with guns.
You could say the same thing about Pfizer and the people we cannot name on YouTube.
Well, I mean, but they kill more people than they save is the problem.
Yeah. By the way, what was this with Bill Gates meeting with Trump?
Oh my God! You know,
I don't know. It's like one thing is up and the other one is down, and then it's just
I bet you that Bill Gates wanted to make a deal, man. Bill Gates is like, please don't reveal the file with me in it.
That might be the reason, honestly. That actually might, because the talk is Trump might release the Epstein files. We'll see.
Yeah. It might be a redacted one that removes all mention of Bill Gates, so he can continue to remain in denial.
It might be a redacted one that removes all mention of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There'll be a little trick, and then they'll be able to say that, man. It was really, so whatever. I don't know.
You would expect anybody with integrity to turn themselves in for that.
I'm going to release the files, everyone. Don't worry. I'm not in them. You'll see that I'm not in them.
Hostages released, and the conversation that had they been released 6 months ago, 8 more would have been still living?
Oh, God.
That's news of...
Yeah.
They could.
I'm
they
still wondering
wanted this, man. They wanted this shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
They wanted a lot more.
Well, I'm still wondering if there was any actual hostages to begin with, and this was all just a work.
Well.
Yeah, generative AI would be good enough to get what we've seen of them so far. That's true.
I will say, because you can look at the memes on the release of the hostages from each side too. It's it's pretty telling. I don't know how comprehensive it is or anything, but pretty obvious. So
yeah,
you just don't know anymore. That's a shame.
Right.
You just
how about
can't
so another news topic probably worth bringing up. Another news topic probably worth bringing up is the Hester Peirce chaired commission to create SEC Crypto Reg 2.0. Are you guys optimistic about this?
Talk to me. This is
okay.
Important.
So we're advisors.
Yeah. So basically, one of the first acts that the new SEC chair, well, actually the chair in waiting, what do they call him, the temporary one? Why is the word escaping me?
Standing, no.
The acting chair. Right.
So
the acting chair created this commission, and this is pretty much just license to say that it's going to be the policy of the actual chair once they finally get confirmed. But the neat thing about it is it says they're not going to wait for that confirmation to start shifting the situation with crypto. They're going to put they've got the right person in charge of it, which is cool. And I hope that means that we'll finally be able to have some room for other kinds of instruments to be represented by tokens and have officials actually.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. That. Are they going to be expansive? That might be my biggest concern because anytime you get any headway in the Congress, it's always
right.
It's like this. It's Bitcoin and Ethereum. We have to define what Bitcoin and Ethereum mean to the law. Right. You're like, well, wait, what the fuck?
No, you don't. You just have to use the code to write securities contracts. And if they're not securities contracts, you don't treat them like that.
Right.
Simple fucking enough.
But I'm even saying, if they're going to do anything to maybe there's a tax break. Maybe it's a positive. Who knows? But I'm just saying. they should define, just like the internet, here's the internet, right? And we're going to put money into it and we're going to not tax it. Those are two very positive things that happened. With crypto, it was, oh, well, the bankers don't want me to say anything or they attack it, right?
Right.
And
well, it's part of the PSYOP too, right? They had to make it into a security in part because the smart contract ones couldn't also be digital gold. They needed something to deflect anything that could be a replacement currency away from currency. And the SEC has done a great job at giving people the illusion that tokens equal investments.
Yep.
And in fact, they could do a lot of stuff. And it's those things that they can do, the a lot of stuff part, that people are getting screwed out of by this stupid fight over money that is just a tiny fraction of the transformation that blockchain represents. It's being held back by this bullshit, and it's time to stop it.
Yep. No, that's why if it's open and they will actually take, like, say, I wouldn't like ask to be on a panel or anything, but if it were something where they would let other projects or intellectuals post things to them that they should know, instead of it just being, hey, this guy gave to whatever campaign, and so therefore, and he's a VC, so therefore he's going to kind of, help you out here, right? If it's that style, that's really bad. It's going to be
right. Oh, absolutely.
Negative.
And if they don't ditch the illusion that token equals financial asset, and that's it.
Exactly.
Right. They've got to get rid of that. I mean, it'd be like, imagine if they'd done this to the email protocol, which was a protocol, by the way. The implementations we use are specific examples of it. But if they'd done that with every email that got sent, well, there could be financial fraud in every single one of these emails. We need you to send them to us in order for you to use email as a technology, each an individual one, and we need to review it before you let it move on, just in case it contains financial fraud, because we're going to treat email like a financial device. Like, no, it's not.
It's
a
ridiculous.
protocol. It does a lot of stuff.
If it weren't the bankers, none of that would have happened. Just like the internet was pretty much, you do anything you want. It's crazy stuff, right? This one is, by the way, funny, very funny. I captured this myself out in the wild. This one is very funny to me. It's just like that's hilarious. I don't know. Internet's still at least good for humor. Anyway, I think we should propose a new edition. So we take off all the memes and we basically go down
comments,
what's the most important good and bad current event this week. How about that? Right? Just those. So everybody gets those. We have 50 minutes left to go, 12 minutes, so we should be good. So starting with the Emperor himself.
Easy. Freeing Ross was the best news of the week so far. And the worst news of the week was within hours, the press conference in the Oval Office with Sam Altman and Stargate and Allison and the UBS bank guy. It just, with US dollars, our tax dollars going to create super AGI to conquer the souls of us individuals.
Wow. Yep. Andrew.
I think, since you took Ross, the best thing would be maybe about not having capital gains on U.S.-based cryptocurrency projects. And I don't know about the worst meme. Let's just say that it's not confirmed that what's his name isn't going over to Russia for war crimes.
Yep. All right, Zach.
Yeah, they did.
Hey, let's hope that old Tony Fauci goes to Russia. That's it. That's the war crimes, right? He waged war on us all. So
at least go to the Hague, right?
Maybe that was worse.
All right.
At least the Hague, at least.
Wait, did you get both? Did you get both? Or did you get both? Yes.
But at the same time, the best news obviously was Ross being free. So that gives me hope for Roger. Hopefully.
Yep.
Hopefully.
So
all right, Greg.
I'm going to go, and I'm going to say something that's going to blow up people's minds a little bit, because the second best news is, in fact, that Biden was dumb enough to preemptively pardon Fauci. That means there's absolutely no Fifth Amendment protection against his coerced testimony. He's going to be able to be forced to go before a commission, and he'll have to say everything or be in contempt of Congress, and he will not have the Fifth Amendment to get him out of it because he committed crimes.
That's what I've
that he's no longer liable. So great news there. Worst news, probably I would say the way that the House or the Senate rather has handled appointments. They are already starting to sandbag confirmations, and it suggests just a lawfare effort in legislative law, like within their own rules, just heating up. And I expect we can expect a whole of a government response that is going to be pretty resistive based on this.
Normal every 4 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be worse this time around, man. Somebody wants the filibuster gone real fast, and this is every time this happens, it just comes closer to happening.
It does. It does.
All right. So for me, the best news, Ross was definitely the best. I am going to comment on. I don't think this is the worst. I'm going to comment on though that whole thing with Ellison and Altman. That Altman, I don't trust. Right? His OpenAI is awesome. ChatGPT is awesome, but I don't trust that guy, that dude. I don't trust. But
sleaze a nonprofit into a profit enterprise.
I've spent decades in the software industry, and I will tell you that. And I've known one person who's met Ellison and couldn't stop talking about, like sour faces, like how horrible of a person Ellison is. He's only met him once. He's a total a-hole. And
someone who's a friend of his, though.
Here's the thing: his evil empire knows no bounds, and you can tell by looking at him. Even when before the Elon Musks of the world, when Gates was kind of the only, and why was they held him up as a whiz kid? That was part of the psyop. But one way or another, it's so obvious that this dude's a villain in any manga that you would, any comic book, any kids show. He's obviously the villain. You go ask your kid. Okay. I'll show you this lineup. Which you think, of these people? They would point to Ellison every time.
I've seen some counter evidence, though, to suggest that Ellison's not a bad guy, personally.
Wow.
This is a friend of mine that I actually met. She was posing as a music reviewer back when I was in bands, like back in the 2012s, and she was actually an Oracle former executive. And I was going under a stage name that was so convincing she didn't know I wasn't somebody named something that's not my name. I'm not going to disclose. And I sprung it on her the next day, and we hung out for a couple different
so anyway,
dinners
about,
and shit.
About Larry.
She
Ellison.
loved Ellison. She thought he was a really nice guy.
Well, he paid her well, sure.
And that was after leaving the company. She thought he was a really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm saying, anybody. I still think people are. Nice people that used to pay me that maybe weren't sometimes.
So I don't know. There's counter evidence. I don't want to go into the conversation, so it's just boring to hear about.
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
I've got reason to believe that he.
And mine was anecdotal too, but it's all indicators if you've spent much time in the software world, or that the guy's not a good guy anyway. But either way, and maybe
am I gonna find that he's the villain in this book, Andrew?
No.
Okay, all right. Let's give the outros. What's going on, Zach?
Tonight at 7:30 p.m. Knock Conscious with Mark Poles. I hope I didn't screw his name up. We're doing a little fundraiser, like chit chat. Hopefully others join, but just chit chat, shoot the shit type scenario. All in reference to fundraising for Michael Rechtenwald. Who just I don't know if he just recently or he's about to, but he's going through some things right now. He's about to have open heart surgery and not going to be able to match those medical bills. So we're going to do our part in trying to raise some awareness for him and his Give, Send, Go. But that's 7:30 p.m. on Knock Conscious. Should be a lot of fun, just shooting the shit and chit chatting. Nothing really formal, just basically just chit chatting and having fun, having a good time, and hopefully helping a brother out in the liberty movement.
Right on. Great.
I'm going to say you guys need to go out and watch the Aaron Day Show's episode that we did. If we talked about it a bit at the beginning, but you guys need to go watch it because it's time to end this shit. We're going to be one way or the other forming something we're going to call the Dragon Legion. P.S. Hint dropped here. And we're going to help free people from the bullshit tyranny of the bureaucracy, starting with this case. So we're not going to announce anything big yet today beyond the fact that we are, in fact, not going to take a friendly attitude towards people who've been persecuting us, but we're going right for it. So I'm excited.
Right on. Right on. Andrew.
Check us out on the Legacy Right. Usually we're going to be doing 11 a.m. on Fridays, but this coming Friday, tomorrow, it's going to be at 7 p.m. So
with Agorist Nexus.
Nice.
Agorist Nexus, right on.
With Brandon.
I am for I am.
All right. Well, check me out on Den.Social. We have a lot going on. There's been some fun. And it's been some fun, interesting reads on Den.Social here lately about the where the platform is going, and I'm excited about it. I've posted a long list of reasons why I like Den.Social and why I am the unopposed and duly elected first emperor of a DAO. It's crazy. And so I encourage
you guys
all
don't know what
people
you're missing
to
out on if you're not on Den. Like, seriously, get over here.
Yeah, please go to Den.Social. Last but not least, I think the greatest troll might have been Trump renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Why? Because, listen, legally, we can't drill in the Gulf of Mexico. But changing the name might be a backdoor. And Viva Texas. But go to Den.Social and learn more about that concept.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
I wonder.
Go to Den.Social.
We're about to get so much oil, it's not even funny.
I would say, watch the Aaron Day video and share it. Share it to whoever you can. It is long, but you can tell people, hey, watch it at 2x or something. We speak slowly. That's why it was 3 hours or 2.5 hours or whatever it was. But it was amazing, and Aaron is awesome, and you can always tell, when especially in a space so potentially toxic, when you meet someone who isn't that, who is, you can actually be a friend with, and they're a reasoned, good person. It's an amazing thing, and so you end up with really, really loyal friends, right? And a lot of times it's just because the drama kind of brings people's real character out. So you can get to you learn more about people in crypto. So anyway, his show is amazing, and he's actually starting to. I think he's going to help us in a number of other ways. And like Greg said, we're going to try to funnel it into something that can continue working, because we kind of disappointing that something like that. We have decentralized markets, we have decentralized organizations. Why are we not protecting ourselves with one of those?
Right. And how the hell did Free Britney people not immediately turn their attention to freeing Assange? And why did the Free Assange people not immediately turn their attention to freeing Ross?
And that's the beauty.
We need to be
with
doing
the governance. You'd be able to have an effect on where it goes, and you can find a way to decide that answer better. And you can go. You think about it. The fact that I'm an OG investor. I'm from campaign 0, right? That would be the most amazing thing in the world, because it's like, I've supported every campaign. It's like you get a badge for supporting every campaign in some way, right? That's the type of stuff you would build into it. It would become a machine, and it'd be for good, right? So anyway,
you just made me think of a good partner.
Listen to the Aaron Day Show. I'll go ahead and cut out here. Thanks a bunch for watching, and we'll see you again next week.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. A doctrinal approach is palpable if this animal is fallible, but that conclusion is laughable. So with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.